It's Friday, October 24th. In the headlines, airports on high alert as emergency protocols activated ahead of tropical storm Melissa. Non-essential government offices to close at 2 p.m. today. Regionally, Caribbean on alert as tropical storm Melissa approaches. And in sports, ISA suspends school sports as tropical storm Melissa nears. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The tropical storm warning and the hurricane watch continue for Jamaica, even as reconnaissance aircraft indicates a drift of tropical storm Melissa to the east-southeast over the Caribbean Sea. The storm is about 415 kilometers southwest of Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and is about 256 kilometers south-southeast of Morant Point, or 300 kilometers southeast of Kingston, Jamaica. A slow drift toward the northeast and north is expected later today and tonight. Melissa is expected to be a major rainfall producer over Jamaica, amounts reaching 200 to 350 millimeters, that's 8 to 14 inches, are forecast for eastern parishes through the weekend, causing widespread flooding and landslides. Farmers across Jamaica are being urged to closely monitor their crops for signs of disease once tropical storm Melissa has passed. Heavy rainfall creates favorable conditions for pests and pathogens to multiply, which can lead to crop damage and reduced productivity. Senior plant Health and Food Safety Officer at the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, Francine Webb, says timely intervention is critical to protecting crops and minimizing losses in the aftermath of the storm. People are being reminded to practice proper food safety in the aftermath of a storm to prevent foodborne illnesses. Flooding, power outages, and contamination can make food unsafe to eat if not handled correctly. Here are some important guidelines. Check for contamination. Discard all food, including packaged items that have come into contact with flood water. Throw away perishable foods such as meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and leftovers that have been without refrigeration for more than 2 hours. Founder of Food Safety Girl, Alison Richards, was a guest on PBCJ's Blueprint to Health, and she discussed some common mistakes people tend to make and gave us some tips as well.
Number one is forgetting to wash your hands, before preparing food. Another one is sometimes undercooking food and also leaving food out for, extended period of time. That is, I think, a common mistake that we make here in Jamaica, and is particularly important based on the hot tropical climate that we live in.
So how can consumers tell if the food is safe to eat or spoiled?
Simple, we're using our 5 senses here. So you're looking at the food. If it doesn't look like what it should look like we're looking at bread. If it's white bread, should look white. Shouldn't have anything that is untoward, anything looking black or anything that looks hard, because it's a soft thing. We're feeling. So we're using ours, we have already looked, we're feeling, we're also smelling. If it smells off, chances are it's off. And we are also touching. If it's a bread, it's supposed to be soft. If it's something liquidy, of course, it's supposed to feel wet. If it's something hard, it's supposed to be hard. And also, we're going to be looking at our labels, your expiration dates, your best before. Those are very critical pieces of information that you would use to tell whether or not it's safe to eat something.
How long can leftovers be safely stored in the fridge or freezer?
So we don't want to go more than 4 days, so 2 to 4 days if we're refrigerating food. So if you cook on a Sunday, You want to make sure that by Thursday, Wednesday, you're, finishing up whatever you have prepared. If you're going to be freezing, we don't recommend freezing beyond 6 months. And of course, that depends on the item you're freezing, because you do know that some food items may not last as long, the quality may reduce. So 2 to 6 months is the recommendation for freezing food.
Are there any foods that should never be frozen?
I wouldn't say never, and never is based on not a food safety issue, but a quality. So of course, you're not gonna freeze foods that have a high water content, like our lettuce, vegetables, fruits that have a high water content, because chances are what happens on a cellular and a scientific way.
All non-essential government offices will be closed at 2 p.m. today due to the impending storm. The instruction comes from the Office of the Prime Minister. The statement also notes that essential services, including emergency response and healthcare facilities, will remain operational and available to the public. The government of Jamaica continues to encourage all Jamaicans to stay informed using official sources. Emergency protocols have been fully activated at Jamaica's international airports as the island braces for the potential impact of Tropical Storm Melissa. Minister of Energy, Telecommunications and Transportation, Daryl Vaz, made the disclosure during a special briefing on Thursday at Jamaica House.
Emergency protocols are fully activated at Jamaica's international airports in preparation for Tropical Storm Melissa. At Sangster International Airport, MBJ Airports Limited has implemented pre-hurricane measures, including drainage and tree clearing, testing of generators with a 36-hour fuel reserve, and positioning of emergency supplies. At Norman Manley International Airport, PACAL has directed stakeholders to secure assets and complete drain cleaning, structural checks, and power system tests. Both airports will expedite reopening once safety is confirmed, with updates shared through official bulletins, social media, and coordination with airlines and government partners.
Minister Vaz notes that both airports could be closed within 24 hours of a hurricane warning being issued. Jamaica is currently under a hurricane watch.
The minute that a hurricane warning, not a watch, a warning has been issued, it is likely that the airports will close within 24 hours. It is not a must that both of them will be closed at the same time. It's all dependent on the tracking of the storm or the hurricane and the elements in terms of the locations of the two airports, which are obviously on the sea. So for right now, airports remain open, and the only time that we will move to close the airports will be if the Met Office issues a hurricane warning.
Based on current projections, Minister Vaz says any potential closures would likely occur between Friday evening and Saturday. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the government has fast-tracked the necessary arrangements to respond to the impact of the incoming storm, including ensuring that all the requisite items needed for shelters are in place. Speaking at a special press conference on Wednesday, Minister McKenzie said it is important that persons evacuate when advised.
I'm making a special appeal to the people in Port Royal. If we are impacted by this event, it is going to be important that the community of Port Royal make arrangements when we provide the requisite transportation for them to be relocated to shelters that they comply. I'll be speaking with the Member of Parliament, Philip Paulwell, because it is an area that is of grave concern to us, because we have not been getting the kind of cooperation that is required from the residents in Port Royal whenever there is an event.
Acting Inspector of Poor at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Donaghy Brady, says all is in place to ensure the safety of the homeless population as Jamaica braces for heavy rainfall due to Tropical Storm Melissa.
Well, fortunately, Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation's Poor Relief Department, we are prepared. We have put all measures in place to facilitate the persons experiencing homelessness, persons on the street. All our shelters have been activated. The Desmond Mackenzie Transitional Center, Marie Atkins Night Shelter, and our temporary shelter at Church Street to admit additional persons experiencing homelessness in the hurricane.
The National Water Commission has cautioned that some water systems may need to be temporarily shut down depending on the storm's impact and is urging customers to store enough water for several days in clean, covered containers. The utility agency, in an advisory, said customers are reminded that major leaks, broken pipes, or service disruptions can be reported via the NWC Contact Center at 888-225-5692. That's 888-225-5692. Or through the NWC mobile app. The agency says it will continue to monitor Tropical Storm Melissa closely and provide regular updates through its website, nwcjamaica.com, and its social media platforms. Flow Jamaica has fully activated its crisis management system with support from local and regional teams. Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunication and Transport Darrell Vaz shared the details during a special press conference.
Power resilience has been strengthened with over 61% of mobile sites now having backed up power and 143 new generators installed island-wide. All generators are refueled and serviced and field teams are mobilized. Company's Emergency Operations Center is active and the public can reach the center for emergencies at 876-929-9834. I'll repeat that, 876-929-9834 and 876-929-9837.
Minister Vaz says Digicel has formed a dedicated disaster response team.
Company has strengthened communication redundancy with satellite phones and backup connectivity through other providers. All network sites, towers, and facilities have been structurally inspected, and generators confirmed to be up and running condition. Essential spare parts are secured locally and overseas, and mobile cell sites are ready for rapid deployment to restore service.
As the country prepares to weather the impact of Tropical Storm Melissa, the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, will maintain regular operations as long as it is safe to do so. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says updates will be shared via social media and public channels.
30 buses are designated for emergency deployment across depots in Portmore, Spanish Town, Rockfort, and Montego Bay. Each depot has activated an emergency operations committee, and the JUTC representatives are embedded in national and parish emergency centers for coordinated response.
People living in tropical countries are especially vulnerable to tropical storms, hurricanes, and cyclones, which can form rapidly and cause widespread destruction. Being prepared can save lives and reduce the long-term impact on communities. Our reporter Brittany Walker shares some important tips on how you can get ready for these natural disasters.
If your country is prone to hurricanes, storms, or other weather phenomenon, you have to be prepared. Take basic steps now to ensure your safety should a storm hit. You might be hearing the term tropical storm in weather alerts. A tropical storm is an area of extreme low pressure. This suggests that air is rising, causing low pressure on the Earth's surface, which originates over warm tropical oceans. Before a tropical storm, get cash and ensure that your vehicle is filled with gas. If you have to evacuate your community, you will not have time to do this. During a tropical storm, stay informed. Use your portable radio to stay up to date on what is happening in your area. Check thoroughly the roof of your house, hurricane shutters, hooks and latches, and repair where necessary. Make sure that galvanized sheeting on the roof of your house is properly fastened. Store at least a 7-day supply of non-perishable food. Select foods that require no refrigeration, preparation of cooking, and little to no water. These types of food include ready-to-eat canned meats, fruits and vegetables, canned juices, crackers, and jams. Before a hurricane or storm, store water in plastic containers. Avoid using containers that will decompose or break, such as glass bottles. Store 1 gallon of water per person per day. Keep at least a 7-day supply of water for each person in your household. Do not forget water for your pets and other animals. They are also members of your family.
Forecasters warn that the tropical storm Melissa is expected to strengthen into a hurricane by the weekend, bringing heavy rain that could lead to significant flooding in some areas of the country. Are Jamaicans concerned about the possible effects of the storm? Chanel Matthews has been in the streets asking persons to share their thoughts.
A tropical storm or hurricane can cause severe damage to homes and infrastructure. It can even cost lives. Are Jamaicans concerned about this?
I'm concerned about the storm because the flooding will not be so easy for some people, and the wind also, maybe some people's house that will be blown off, and it's distressing. It's not looking good, but we are praying. You understand that it will turn back.
I'm concerned for the best for Jamaica, that we'll overcome, that the gullies and the drain will clean up.
So my concerns really would be for those persons who are more at risk, especially those who live in flood-prone areas, right, and might not have much opportunity or the privilege to really relocate. So that's basically my concerns for the storm.
Them said Melissa come, right? But too many storms, them said many storms that come and it come. I never really come through, right? Don't go storm nobody was Gilbert. When Gilbert blew off my house top and I look up in the sky. But it's a storm, them know me I come, yesterday them I come, them now come. Them say Melissa come, right? And yet still, I look up in the sky, I see the sky blue and pretty. Now, sometimes it get dark. Them say Melissa, we might get rain, a whole heap of rain, but not really storm. So I look for the rain. This morning, I look a raindrop on my house top. I say, right, I go work right now, rain will come. That's not rain. Right, so right now the sun hot, me and the sun, I talk to you, but watch and see, you know, and see what really go down, you know?
Well, I just trust in God and realize and just say, boy, let's trust in God and pray that the hurricane don't come. But if it come, you know, see if you have food to eat and things. But what I understand from I was growing up, before them technology coming on, when people used to find out if storm coming, you watch a trumpet tree. If the trumpet tree leaf turn over on the back and you see the white, you can say, yes, storm coming. If you don't see no bird flying around, you say storm coming. So I look for them little things there.
We have a living and true God, and God will turn back everything. Nothing can affect us. God will turn it back. No matter how strong it is, God will turn it back. Because God loves Jamaica, we love this country, He loves the country, but it's because the heart of the people, right? Why all kind of things is happening, but God is able and He will.
I'm homeless, and what I concerned about the storm gonna wet me up and flood me out. I need a place to stay. So all the fans them out there are looking somewhere to stay. So please make I get somewhere to stay, because I don't have family, and I go to America and got back here and deported, and I need somewhere to stay.
Not worrying about anything. I'm leaving everything to the Almighty God, because God knows what He is doing in His world. We got to look up and serve the Master, because the coming of the Lord is near. And him says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything shall be added unto us. So let God do his work. Bless the Lord.
Persons are being reminded that they can seek shelter at the Marie Atkins Night Shelter, located at 65 Hanover Street, downtown Kingston. In regional news, authorities across the Caribbean are issuing urgent warnings as Tropical Storm Melissa approaches, with Haiti and Jamaica facing the threat of catastrophic flooding and landslides. The Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency says heavy rainfall over the next 24 to 48 hours could also affect the Cayman Islands and the Turks and Caicos. In preparation, Jamaica has placed 881 emergency shelters on standby, while in Haiti, authorities have raised alert levels and reported injuries and 1 death so far. The United Nations and World Food Programme are assisting with early warning messages, emergency cash distributions, and pre-positioned food supplies to help vulnerable communities prepare. Officials continue to monitor Tropical Storm Melissa closely as the region braces for its potential impact. Ride-hailing company Uber has officially launched in Barbados. The app service is available only through the use of licensed taxi drivers in Barbados. Trevor Thorpe reports.
The regional head of Uber says the company continues to move people, goods, and cities forward. Uber currently operates in 70 countries. 400 taxi drivers have signed on to the service in Barbados.
For example, increased earning opportunities and productivity. By connecting the taxi drivers with new audiences, like tourists or Uber users from across the world, we create more opportunities to grow their income. And by using technology to create efficiency in matching, we increase their productivity so that they have more opportunities to earn. The second point I just mentioned, they have access to a global trusted user base of 149 million users. And they really, really value the flexibility and independence that comes with this model.
The regional head says reimagining how the world moves is what Uber is about, and gave details.
So Uber is a technology platform that connects a person who wants to go from point A to point B with a driver who's available to do that trip and who also values the flexibility and the opportunity to generate additional earnings. That moment where technology meets mobility, that is Uber. And this is our purpose, and I think our purpose really explains what we're all about. We reimagine the way the world moves for the better. And this idea started in 2010, where an idea that was tap a button, get a ride, became a reality.
She says safety is at the core of Uber, and Barbados was chosen for its development and place in the world scheme of things.
Barbados is a place known for its warmth, its hospitality, and its strong tourism industry. And we've been able to witness all of this firsthand. We couldn't have imagined a better place to start this journey into the Eastern Caribbean. So we want to make sure that all of our stakeholders, including drivers, associations, local businesses, really understand the value that Uber will bring to Barbados.
Training has started in Barbados for the Barbadians signed on to the Uber taxi service. Trevor Thorpe for the Business Report.
Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has reaffirmed her commitment to job creation as hundreds turned out for the government's national recruitment drive in Cover on Thursday, eager to register for job placements across various sectors. Speaking to reporters, Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar said the initiative has received an overwhelming response so far.
The National Cycling Centre was filled with hundreds of hopefuls on Thursday, eager to register for job placements across various sectors through the government's national recruitment drive. Speaking to reporters at the event, Prime Minister Kamal Prasad-Bisesa said the initiative has received an overwhelming response so far.
For those of you who have not yet come here, there are other venues open across the country, but there's online. And that online, Minister Smith is in charge of that part of it. And how many you told me online? About 90,000 persons have gone on the link. More than that.
The Prime Minister reassured the population that the government remains committed to providing sustainable employment opportunities.
So when you all became very upset, some of you with me, when I said there is no CPEP and there's no URP, there will be no ghosts, there will be real people, real jobs, and these jobs are sustainable jobs. You could not go with a CPEP job to the bank and get a proper mortgage to buy a house, or get a proper mortgage to buy a car, or get a proper mortgage to send your child to university somewhere. You couldn't do it with CPEP and URP. That was just hand-to-mouth feeding.
She encouraged citizens to take advantage of the opportunity.
And I think this is a very good thing for our country. The majority of persons have come. They seem to be younger ones. They seem to be entry-level ones. So the young ones, young graduates out here. And it's an opportunity that should not be wasted by anyone.
Speaking with TTT News at the recruitment drive, Darren Samaru described the process as seamless, unlike any other recruitment initiatives he has experienced in the past.
It was good. No kind of complaints so far. Everything was spaced out. Everything was enough information given, simple to apply. And well, everybody here so far, and so far when we come, everybody was getting through at a reasonable pace. Well, I went in like, let me say 1 or 2 other recruitment drives before, and those are very lengthy. You had to reach there from like 4 or 5 in the morning. And it had one that we went in and we left there like 1, 2 o'clock, and we still didn't end up getting through.
The National Recruitment Drive was launched on October 19th with more than 20,000 positions available across various sectors. At Thursday's event, officials revealed that over 110,000 applications have already been submitted online. Daniel John, TTT News.
In sports, we look to football news. High school football fans will have to wait a little longer for more Manning and the Costa Cup action, as the Inter-Secondary Schools Sports Association, ISA, has suspended all competitions with Tropical Storm Melissa approaching Jamaica. ISA confirmed on Thursday that the Manning Cup and the Costa Cup round of 16 matches have been postponed until further notice. The decision comes as forecasters warn that Jamaica could begin feeling the effects of the storm as early as Saturday. In a statement, ISA said the move was made to play it safe, noting that all participating schools will receive at least 48 hours notice before play resumes. The storm threat has also forced a delay to several other school sports. The start of the junior football competitions, boys basketball, and the ongoing netball season have all been put on hold. ISA says it will continue to monitor weather updates from the Meteorological Service before announcing new match dates. And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, keep safe.